Good morning, Porcupines. Welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Matt, and we're going to continue our climb through the rank ladder in the Master Brawl tier to keep under the ranks of 10,000 players and below. We are currently, I think, 3,000s. We'll double check that as I go through the announcements. The announcements are, it's pretty simple. Yesterday, the podcast was released. We talked about Pokemon Unite, our experiences with it up to this point, what we'd like to see in the future, and then a little bit more information about what we were talking about for VGC 2024, and ended it off just full of shenanigans. The Worlds event is underway. I know that they're in Japan, so they're about 15 hours ahead of us. The day 2 live stream for VGC starts at 4:45 Pacific Standard Time. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so it's a lot later. But I was really surprised that they only did 7 rounds of Swiss yesterday, and you needed 5 wins guaranteed to get to day 2 automatically. So if thousands of players were there and they weren't able to get to day 2, that's a huge chopping block. But it did seem like a lot of people did get in there. But I just want to pay homage for someone real quick. Wolf Glick, who was on the very last round to almost make it day 2. He didn't make it to day 2. He was knocked out by the same man that knocked him out in Hartford Regionals. I don't remember his name, and I don't really want to mispronounce it. So, Wolf, sorry, better luck next year. Today's live stream is going to be really, really good. I watched all of it yesterday, while I was at work, so it was fantastic. It was great matches all around, and I can't wait to see what day 2 looks like. On that note, you guys will be receiving an extra video from me this week because of the fact that I missed last Saturday's upload. So you'll have 7 days of content for me today. Usually I only upload 6 days a week, but we might change that just because of the fact that I am running incredibly out of time. You guys have no idea. So beyond that, I will think about how to fix it, make it a little bit better so that you guys will be updated with content, and that it makes it a little bit more streamlined. I know that I am getting really good with the process, but it still takes me about 2.5 hours just to upload these. So yay. Beyond that, I've got nothing else. So before we get started, do the YouTubey things, which is liking the video if you like it, dislike it if you didn't, leave a comment down below. I do reply to any and all comments that you guys leave behind, and subscribe for our monthly goal of August to hit 400. We are currently at 370. I would love to get your guys' help on hitting that goal, and then we can move on to hopefully hitting our end of the year goal of 1,000. Fingers crossed. I know that we could do it. We've had a huge amount of growth for the last couple of months, and I know that we can hit it with your guys' help, and I appreciate it all the same. So let's get into our matches for today. All right, our first match is ready to go. We've got Cresselia, Kingambit, Chi-Yu, Fluttermane, Palafin, and Tornadus. Let's see what their strategy is going to be. So Cresselia is going to be able to do a lot of different things. Most likely we'll have Ally Switch because it's not really going to be setting up for Trick Room, but it will have Helping Hand and most likely Rocky Helm, because it doesn't really need to prevent itself to being taunted. Plus it's got Tornadus there too. So one of them may have the thing that one of them may have Mental Herb, but I don't think it's going to be Cresselia. I don't think it's going to be Cresselia. Fluttermane is going to need to be countered immediately. So we're going to go in with Tornadus, Fluttermane. We do need someone to counter Chi-Yu. So we'll bring in Urshifu to kind of tie in with Palafin, and we'll bring in Iron Hand. So we'll leave Qian Pao and Dragonite behind. I don't think either one of those types are going to be really, really beneficial. Like, Sucker Punch is good and Extreme Speed is good, but if I get stuck with Fluttermane or if anyone else Terras into a type that I can't really deal with, it's going to be a problem. I mean, I still have Ice Spinner, and I still have Stomping Tantrum, and I still have Outrage, but I still don't want to get stuck with something that I don't. They open up with Fluttermane, Chi-Yu. So weakening all the special defense types on the field, and my booster energy goes off. So they got Beads of Ruin, which lowers down special defenses, which is totally fine in my account. Because what we could do here is set up rain, and then should I go for, I mean, they're probably going to set up for either Dazzling Gleam or Shadow Ball. We're going to Terra Fairy, Shadow Ball. Their Flutter Mane. We're going to take a little bit less damage, but we're going to do that for sure. I want to be on the offensive on this one. Even though that my Flutter Mane is kind of transforming to be a little bit more defensive, I thought it was really, really interesting. When I was at work yesterday, I'm listening to people how they were like looking at Flutter Mane and building them, and it's like, oh, interesting. Okay. So with the special defense drop, my Shadow Ball goes right into that Flutter Mane and knocks it out. Chi-Yu is now left by himself. Heat Wave will fail on Flutter Mane, but will still hit Tornadus, which isn't going to do a whole lot because of the rain. Okay, they bring out King Gambit. Okay, we're going to Bleak Wind, because now it's 100%. I don't really have to do anything for speed. Because I outspeed. I mean, I can still get hit with Sucker Punch, but it's not going to be damning enough to where it would do a lot of damage to me. But I'm going to hit Moonblast to King Gambit. He's going to protect, which is a good call. Moonblast into the protected slot isn't going to do anything, but Bleak Wind is going to come in after that. Oh, he's faster than Tornadus. Okay. Interesting. And he's not using anything else besides Heat Wave, so maybe Scarf? I'm going to swap out Tornadus to bring out Urshifu. And I'm going to Moonblast. I mean, Moonblast makes Chi-Yu just effective. So I'll do that. Tornadus is kind of gone at this point. I could still use Tailwind, and I didn't. Because I want to try to preserve him as much as I possibly can. Like, right now, Flutter Mane's faster. So I will get this next attack off with no problem. And with Urshifu now coming on the field, I negate whatever Chi-Yu does. So here we go. We'll get the knockout with the critical hit. That's dope. And Iron Head right into Flutter Mane, which is going to knock it out. Which at this point in time, I am perfectly okay with. I don't know who they're going to bring out. I could bring out Tornadus to give myself... Yeah, I'll do that. I will now use my advancements for speed. There's their Tornadus. Okay. We're going to Surging Strikes into that slot. And we're going to Tailwind here. They're going to Terra. Are you going to be Tornadus? Nope, can get... No, Tornadus. Okay. Flying. I mean, he's already flying. Why would you make him even more flying? Did you teach him Roost or something? Tailwind. They go for Sucker Punch onto the Tornadus. Does not do anything. I use Surging Strikes. This is going to not knock out... This isn't going to knock out King Gambit, but it is going to get him really far down. Now, Bleak Wind is going to do a lot of damage here, which is probably why they Terra'd. Because here it comes, Bleak Wind Storm. It's 100% going to work in the rain. It's going to knock out both of my Pokemon. Maybe I should have hit Tornadus instead. I might have been able to prevent something. But that's okay. Because Iron Hands comes out. And Iron Hands is going to fake out the... It's not going to be very effective. Is that still going to... It would prevent him from attacking. Let's try it. Fake out. Ah! It prevents him from attacking, but it's not going to do anything that I thought it was going to. Bleak Wind is going to be 100%. And the rain stops. There we go. Now I still have a turn of Tailwind. Oh, 2 turns of Tailwind left. So I'll get that done. Drain Punch. Boom! On the King Gambit. I'm faster than both? That's odd. That's really odd. That's ominous. Why? Bleak Wind still hits, but that's totally fine. It's about a 4-hit KO, I think. Speed would drop. Bleak Wind. Yep, 4-hit. Will I survive this next one, though? Oh! Tailwind's gone. I've got 45. I don't think I'm going to survive. I barely lost this one. I should have hit... Bleak Wind. Ah, makes it. Good job. I should have hit the Tornadus. Tailwind and then Surgeon Strikes into the Tornadus, which would have stopped Bleak Wind Storm at that point in time. But I didn't make that call. I could have also had Bleak Wind myself, which would have made it a lot easier to knock out, but I worried about Tailwind more. We've got Cinderace, Torkoal, Chien-Pao, Tornadus, Indeedee, and Ting-Lu. Haven't seen Ting-Lu in a while. Okay, so no priority can be used here because Indeedee is on the field, and I'm afraid that it's going to use things like skill swap. So I'm going to be very, very testy here. But I don't think I have to worry about Trick Room too much. Ting-Lu and Torkoal would benefit greatly from that, but Cinderace, Tornadus, and Chien-Pao wouldn't. They would not at all. So that's interesting. Okay, so what do I do here? What's the call? I think part of it should be Tornadus. I have a feeling that either Cinderace or Torkoal is going to come out somewhere. So maybe Tornadus, Urshifu, Chien-Pao, and Fluttermane? Maybe one of those? I want to leave Iron Hands to Dragonite at the back because I don't know how that's going to go. But we got to start off with Indeedee and Cinderace versus Tornadus and Urshifu. Now Cinderace has the Libido ability, so he's going to change typings, whatever he does right here. I am going to go ahead and get started with the Rain Dance, just in case if he does do something weird. And then I'm also going to start with Surging Strikes. Actually, Terra Water may not be a bad idea here. Yeah, let's get started with that. Terra Water, Surging Strikes, and we'll target the Cinderace. Because we need to get rid of his typing because he's going to be weak against fairy attacks, and I think Cinderace does get a fairy attack. So we need to remove that, have a better possibility of winning. Now if he becomes a dark type, it's neither here nor there. I can't do anything about that. But I know that I can't do anything while Indeedee is on the field, per se. Probably Follow Me is going to come up, which it does. I can't taunt it because I have priority. Rain Dance goes up. Trailblaze. Changes it grass. Good call. Raises its speed. Surging Strikes. 1 hit. 2 hits. Oh, it'll take all 3. But But Indeedee goes down. Okay, so now I need to get Cinderace out of, not Cinderace, but Urshifu out of there. Maybe not. Okay. I mean, that's a strong, I have to, right? I have to. I just need to plan differently now. Maybe go Tailwind first and then swap to Chien-Pao. Yeah. We're gonna swap to Chien-Pao, do Tailwind. I don't know what their Tornadus is going to do. I just have to prevent Urshifu from being knocked out right away. My Tailwind goes off. They'll probably go after me. Trailblaze goes. Hits the Chien-Pao, raises speed again. Foul play. Does not hurt the Chien-Pao so much. We'll go ahead and Bleak Wind now, and I will Ice Spinner into Cinderace. Now Cinderace has +2 in the speed because of Trailblaze, but I have 405, so I don't know what the speed is for Cinderace right now. Withdrew Cinderace, so that's a good call. Brings out Ting-Lu. Oh, I don't know if that was a good call or not. Special attack. Does Sunny Day, which is totally fine. Ice Spinner will still hit into that slot. Super effective. Takes off Weirdness Bleak Wind. Now because Ting-Lu got swapped in, he doesn't get a turn. We'll go ahead and use Taunt on the Tornadus. And I will use Sacred Sword on Ting-Lu. Ting-Lu's only thing is that he has to protect here, otherwise he goes down. He's far enough down for me to knock him out all the way through. They're gonna Terra. Most likely gonna be the Ting-Lu to take care of that weakness. It's poison. It's water. Okay. So he'll survive one more turn, which is totally fine because he really can't hit Tornadus right now. He has to hit Chi-Yu. Fell for the taunt. Sacred Sword. Okay, he'll survive. Heat Wave, which will knock out Chi-Yu, which is totally fine. And Stomping Tantrum does nothing because it doesn't affect Tornadus. We'll re-bring out Urshifu. We'll change this to Rain. And I'm going to Surging Strikes the Tornadus. That Tornadus can't do anything because it's taunted and I have Tailwind up still. So I'm going to leave Urshifu open right now. The best call is to like predict an attack to Urshifu because he can't do anything to Tornadus. But I want to get this other Tornadus off the field. And I'm going to. Hit once, knocked out, Tornadus fainted, Stomping Tantrum. Now it's going to be a 150 because it didn't work against Tornadus, so obviously Urshifu was going to go down. And my Tailwind's gone, but now I can bring out Fluttermane. And they can re-bring out Cinderace, who doesn't have an unusual typing, but he doesn't have his +2 speed anymore. Okay. So I'm going to Bleak Wind just to start doing damage now. Anything else is not going to really do a whole lot. And we're going to Shadow Ball the Cinderace. Hopefully he doesn't change his typing. Yeah, because if Tinglu protects, I can't do anything. He doesn't. Shadow Ball right into the Cinderace. Does about half. Here comes Bleak Wind now. Oh, Iron Head goes first. Changes it to Steel. Flutter Mane will go down. Bleak Wind, 100%. Not going to knock either one of them out, but Tinglu can't hurt me because I'm in the air. And I drop their speed 1. Ruination, it does... Oh, well, Tornadus just avoids it. That's cool. Bleak Wind again. They're -1 now, so I should be able to attack first. This might be the game. Bleak Wind, 100% in the rain. Let's go. Knocks out both Pokemon at one time. I forgot that Cinderace was faster than Tornadus. I kind of want to know, like, is that by base? All right, next match is Flutter Mane, Iron Hands, Tornadus, Entity, Urshifu, and Chien Pao. I kind of mixed it up there a little bit, but that's okay. It's the same thing, pretty much. Okay, so no priority, possible Tailwinder, but I think everyone's kind of swaying away from Tailwind from Tornadus. I think everyone's trying to figure out how to make Tornadus a little bit better, like survive hits or make it so that other Pokemon can benefit more. It's really, really interesting. Obviously, I don't really have to worry about Trick Room here, so that's okay. So if I don't have to worry about Trick Room, what is the best option? I mean, Iron Hands is probably going to come in and out of this fight quite a bit. I think walking with Tornadus, Flutter Mane, Chien Pao, and Iron Hands. I think those are going to be the best. I don't know if Entity is going to come out of the fight. If she does, then obviously I don't want to get stuck in Follow Me business or even a Trick Room. So I want to be able to offset that as much as possible. If Iron Hands comes out, I need a Fake Outer so I could kind of combat that and deal with like the possible Wild Charge and stuff. But Flutter Mane and Tornadus on their side, and exactly the same on my side. Dope. Photosynthesis goes off on my side thanks to the booster energy. Speed is heightened. They also have booster energy, and they will also boost special attack. Gotcha. Okay, so most likely they'll be running Dazzle Gleam, so I think the best option that I have is to Terra Fairy my Flutter Mane now so that I can stay alive for a little bit longer. Question is, should I Tailwind? Well, no. I'm going to taunt their Tornadus because I'm the faster one on the field. Terra Fairy, Shadow Ball into Flutter Mane. I don't know what kind of build that they've gone with their Flutter Mane. I can only assume. So I am going to test the waters a little bit and see if they Terra now or later. They protect, so it's not not Spect. Okay, so they went with Modest instead of Timid. Taunt goes off on Tornadus. Mental Herb will stop it from being taunted. And they will taunt me on my end, which is totally fine. At Flutter Mane use Shadow Ball. Oh, my Flutter Mane use Shadow Ball. And they protected. So I'm going to swap. And go... No, I'm not going to swap. Yes, I am. Never mind. Going to Chien Pao, and then I'm going to Shadow Ball once again into the Flutter Mane on that side of the table. Because they can't protect. They're going to withdraw, though. To bring out Entity. Good call in. I can't hit it with... Ah, dang it. Okay. No, it's totally fine, though. Because I also swapped out so that taunt can be taken off of my own tornadoes to bring out the weaker, the person that is can one-shot tornadoes most of the time, which is Qian Pao. Shadow Ball's not going to do anything though. They're going to activate Tailwind. Shadow Ball goes right into that slot, does nothing on that entity. They called it 100%. Ice Spinner into Tornadus though, and I'm going to Moonblast. They use Tailwind. Doubles their speed. I could Trick Room right now and not worry about doubling my speed. I think that would be like the best idea. What Pokemon do they have so far? They have 3. Fluttermane would, well, Ice Spinner into Tornadus, and I'm going to Moonblast the Entity, because Entity's going to redirect right now with, oh no! Qian Pao avoids the attack of Bleak Wind. Moonblast from my Fluttermane into Entity. Almost knocking it out. Here comes Ice Spinner into the Tornadus, and it's going to knock it out. And Psychic Field disappears, and Psychic now goes into the Fluttermane, which does not a whole lot of damage, but special defenses did drop. They sent out Fluttermane. So I'm going to Sucker Punch the Fluttermane. And I'm going to Moonblast the Entity slot. Entity's got a Helping Hand. Sucker Punch. Just barely keeps Fluttermane alive. They're gonna Dazzle Gleam, which is gonna bring Qian Pao down to its sash, and Fluttermane goes down. Now their Tornadus is down. I'm gonna bring out mine. And I'm going to Ice Spinner their Fluttermane, and I'm going to Tailwind. Now, Entity could use Follow Me here to force me to attack into a different slot. I know that that Fluttermane is not. There's the Follow Me. I know that Entity isn't going to do anything to Qian Pao. Psychic doesn't really affect it. And I know that that Fluttermane isn't spec'd. So I don't know what the item is. No, I know what the item is. It's Booster Energy. I knew that. I absolutely knew that. Their Tailwind's gone. Mine still remains. Bring out Iron Hands now. And they sent out their Iron Hands. I'm going to fake out their Iron Hands, and I'm going to Bleak Wind the field. Hopefully Bleak Wind hits Fluttermane. It may not, but I hope it does. Fluttermane's going to protect, which is totally fine. This is going to go into Iron Hands then, and doubles fashion. Bleak Wind doesn't hit Fluttermane. Does it hit Iron Hands? It does. It's a little bit of damage. It's a little bit of damage. It's still good damage, though. Drain Punch on the Iron Hands, and I'm going to Bleak Wind again. Fluttermane can't protect. They can't swap out. These are the last 2 Pokemon on both sides. Does go for the double protect, but it fails. Bleak Wind after that, it's going to go hit for both. Fluttermane faints. Drain Punch has a considerable amount of damage. Thunder Punch knocks out Tornadus, which is totally fine for me. All right. I think I got this one, guys. I got Tailwind still. Oh, they get Terra. That's dope. Are you Ghost? Because that'd be funny. And you are Grass. Okay. I can't put you to sleep anyway. Drain Punch knocks you out. I don't know what the Grass Terror was going to do at the end. Maybe it would like do something with the damage calcs, but I don't know. At that point, I don't think it really matters. All right, next fight is going to be against Chi-Yu, Regieleki, Fluttermane, Tornadus, Urshifu, and Farafrig. So, obviously Pokemon that it will benefit heavily in Tailwind, because I do need to outspeed quite a few of those Pokemon immediately. Oh boy. All right, so what's gonna be the call here? What's the call here? I could get Tornadus off the field if I go it straight into Dragonite Chien-Pao, because that's gonna be my biggest concern. You wouldn't want to bring it in the back. If you do, it's kind of leaving you open quite a bit, but it has worked before. I think we fought someone like that and they won. Farafrig, though, is going to be the problem for sure. We're going to bring in Tornadus and Chien-Pao, and we'll have Iron Hands and Dragonite in the back. We'll leave Urshifu alone, and we'll leave Fluttermane alone. Even though Fluttermane's going to be really, really beneficial here, automatically outspeeds their Fluttermane, and will outspeed Regieleki outside of Booster Energy, because mine uses Booster. So if they don't use Booster, I would win, but it's really, really hard. Tornadus Chien-Pao versus their Urshifu and Farafrig. Now, Urshifu is single strike. Now, Taunt is a priority move. So Taunt isn't going to help or go against Farafrig at all. So I have to keep that in mind. I need to Tailwind. No, actually, I don't need Tailwind. I outspeed. So, Bleak Wind. I mean, Farafrig could use Tailwind, but they have really, really fast Pokemon, so I don't see that happening. But we'll Bleak Wind and then Sacred Sword. Sacred Sword goes first. Hits the Urshifu with a critical hit, knocks it out, one hit KO, leaving Farafrig alone by itself. Bleak Wind will now do almost half. It's about 49%, maybe just on that cusp of 50. Hyper Voice goes off, does a considerable amount of damage, but isn't enough to get me into yellow. Whew. Chien-Pao is almost literally at like half. Okay, now Regieleki is on the field. Now I have to save Tornadus, otherwise I suffer the consequences. Because Regieleki is going to be able to outspeed everybody, but I need to use Tailwind first. Right, Tailwind, and I can't Terra here on any Pokemon. Because right now it's not going to really make a whole lot of difference. So I need Terra, and I'm going to Protect on Chien-Pao. Farafrig is going to use Helping Hand on Regieleki, which is totally fine. They're going to do a lot of damage. I'm going to Protect on Chien-Pao just to kind of give me some graces here. Now, Regieleki is going to be really, really fast. He's like his base 200 is going to literally set him at 277 if full speed investment is done. So I need to take that into account. Tailwind is going to make it so that I outspeed him here. So that's what I'm hoping for the most. Now, I'm going to come in with Dragonite. I do not know if it's going to outspeed Regieleki, but I am going to Terra Normal. But I'm going to use Stomping Tantrum instead. That's what I'm going to use. And then Ice Spinner into the Farafrig. Now, there's a good chance It's actually a really great chance. I don't think Dragonite's speed is high enough to beat 277. I don't know if it's 277 or more. Now, Farafrig could use Ally Switch here, which would save Regieleki, but Regieleki may have Sash and not Magnet because he is really frail. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. They're probably thinking, oh, he's going to go right into the extreme speed, knocks out my Pokemon. I actually am not doing that. I'm going to Ice Spinner instead to almost knock out the Farafrig. Chien-Pao is hurt by the Rocky Helmet. Electro Web will go off, which is going to unfortunately knock out Chien-Pao, but it will not knock out Dragonite. But he's got multi-scale, so damage is halved. But here comes Stomping Tantrum, right into that slot. Breaks him down to 0 HP. There we go. And Farafrig will get set into Trick Room. Which is totally fine because the person that I have in the back is literally a Trick Room person. Fluttermane now comes out. Iron Hands will now come out. And now Iron Hands is going to be attacking first. Stomping Tantrum is going to go into Farafrig. Heavy Slam is going to go into that Fluttermane. Now, if they did literally no speed advancement, I still outspeed Fluttermane. Well, no, I'm still slower than Fluttermane. Because I think under Trick Room, Iron Hands is still slower than the 150, 135 based Fluttermane. Because I double in speed, but my speed is like 60 something, I think. I really need to get my Pokemon stats at level 50 into my trainer book, just so that I can have them. Okay, they're going to Terra. And it's going to be the Fluttermane. And it's Fairy. And Helping Hand from the Farafrig. From downtown. Heavy Slam. Goes right into the Fluttermane. Ain't gonna stay still. Down it goes. You set up Trick Room at the wrong time. And Stomping Tantrum right into that slot, which is gonna knock out for Graph. Rocky Helmet does a little bit of damage. Ah, Trick Room was so rough. All right, next match is ready to go. We've got Articuno, Iron Hands, Weirdeer, Landorus, Dragonite, and Chien-Pao. Okay, so we do have the kind of same strat that we have to worry about here. I'm going to bring in Tornadus, Chien-Pao, Fluttermane, and I don't remember. Well, Weirdeer can Intimidate, so can Landorus, but Weirdeer can also use Trick Room. I don't know if that's going to be a huge benefit for this team, though. I mean, it could, right? Dragonite does have extreme speed, so it doesn't really matter what speed tier it is, but if you use it incorrectly, it's going to backfire on you considerably. Dragonite's base speed is 80, which is kind of where Trick Room likes to sit at without having what's it called Trick Room. So I guess Urshifu. I was really thinking about bringing in Iron Hands, but I think Urshifu is going to be the best. I also saw the clock tick down to 0, so maybe they didn't select the Pokemon in time. I mean, that'd be kind of dope. It brings out the first 4. So fingers crossed. Articuno and Weirdeer. Intimidate goes off on Weirdeer aside from Intimidate, but Articuno, I think, is also Psychic. So we're going to taunt the Weirdeer, so I don't have to worry about that. And I'm going to Ice Spinner into the Articuno because he's also flying. I think that's the best call that I have so far. I'm the fastest person on the field, so I don't really have to set up Trick Room right away. I can actually delay the game a little bit here at a time. I don't know what the movesets are for the Galarian forms of the 3 legendary birds, so I know Moltres, and I love Fiery Wrath. I want to use Galarian Moltres on the next team, just because of the fact that he'd be so dope. He's got a Terra. Most likely it's Articuno. No, it's Wyrdeer. Changing it to Fairy. Okay. All right. To get rid of some of its weaknesses, which is totally fine. Articuno's going to protect, which is great. I'm going to taunt it, though. Ice Spinner into the protected slot. Cannot use Trick Room. Ah. Sucks to be you, my man, my dude, my brother. Okay. We can go off with a little bit of extra speed. We can also Rain Dance too. Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? Rain Dance would help out quite a bit. I'm gonna Bleak Wind just to do a little bit extra damage. Put them on blast a little bit. Wizard Articuno, which is a good call. Sent out Iron Hands. Ice Spinner is now gonna go into the Iron Hands. It's a little bit of damage. Bleak Wind's not gonna hit someone. It does not hit the Iron Hands that just came out, but will hit the Wyrdeer. And Terra Blast from Wyrdeer is going to go right into Chien Pao. Terra Blast is one of the unused moves in the game so far, and I love using it. It really tricks players from time to time. But Chien Pao is going to survive. And right now he is kind of useless. But I have Iron Hands in front of me that knows Wild Charge, so Tornadus could actually go down. So I think I'm going to Terra to save his life and use Tailwind to get set up for the following turn. And I'm going to Ice Spinner. Yeah, Ice Spinner into... Actually, I'm going to Protect here. I'm going to Protect so that I don't have to worry about getting hit in the face with a Fake Out, because that could instantly take out Chien Pao. So I just kind of want to avoid that if possible. Protect on Chien Pao. I activate Tailwind. Oh, Fake Out was the call. Does not affect Tornadus though. Tailwind. Oh, he was going to use it on Tornadus? Oh, that sucks. Terra Blast goes into the Tornadus slot. I think he'll survive. He will. And Taunt should... Yep, Taunt is gone. And I'm going to activate Taunt again. And I'm going to go straight into that Wyrdeer. Because I know it's got Trick Room, so I want to keep that Wyrdeer taunted as much as possible, and I do not want it to activate any type of moves. And forcing it to attack with Terra Blast is amazing. So it fell for the taunt again. Ice Spinner into that slot. Will not knock it out, but it gets pretty close. Terra Blast will now go into Tornadus. Nope, Chien Pao. Which I'm totally fine with. Chien Pao has pretty much run its course at this point, so we're just kind of like iffy in the air. Heavy Slam right into Tornadus, which is going to knock him out. I'm totally okay with this for the most part, because even though that it's right now 4 versus 2, I have Tailwind, they don't. And I have the means of doing a lot of damage from here on out. It is 4 on 2. So Moonblast into... Is that enough? Will that be enough? Yes. Moonblast into that slot, and I will Surgeon Strikes into Weird Ear. Because he can't fake out. He could swap. But anyone he swaps to is going to get hit for a lot. So it's going to be up to him. Moonblast right into the Iron Hands. Does not knock it out. Gets really, really close though. Surgeon Strikes is going to knock out Weird Ear though. So I don't no longer have to worry about, you know, Trick Room shenanigans. But this hit from Iron Hands is going to be really, really hard. I could have went straight for Iron Hands knocking him out, but Weird Ear with his Terra Blast is going to be really, really hard on either Pokemon. Heavy Slam on the Flutter Mage is going to knock him out. There's no way to counteract that. Now it's 1v3. Dragonite comes out next. Dragonite's going to have extreme speed. I'll go into... Yep, extreme speed. Does not knock him out. Gets pretty close, but I'm going to knock out Iron Hands. I wish like the third attack would just go over to the next Pokemon. You know, it kind of doesn't make sense to have, you know, stuff like that. But at the same time, I understand. I completely understand why it doesn't do that. Okay, so that did about half. Yeah, why not? We'll Surge Strikes into the Articuno. Extreme Speed. Knocks him down to 2 HP. Surge Strikes. 1 Rocky Helmet. Nope, no Rocky Helmet. But that's okay. I'm not going to knock out the Articuno in 3 hits. I get really close, but it doesn't really matter. Articuno's going to come out here and does Freezing Glare. Boom! Super effective, knocks out Urshifu. That was a good match. I think I could have done differently there was to maybe swap out to another Pokemon instead of letting Tornadus go down, but there wasn't anything more I could do. All right, first match is ready to go. We've got Iron Hands, Arcanine, Iron Bundle, Fluttermane, Rillaboom, and Galarian Moltres. Okay, so Iron Bundle's in the mix up here, so we need to bring in our fastest Pokemon to be able to beat it, and it most likely will have Cork Drive, but if it does, it'll also bring in that one item, Focus Sash. So got to keep that in mind. For these 2 fights. Now, I could also just bring in Dragonite and Chien-Pao. It's going to leave me open for fake outs from Rillaboom and Iron Hands if I do bring in Arcanine, or not Arcanine, but Dragonite, but I will have to try to outspeed Iron Bundle sooner or later. So we're going to bring in Tornadus and Chien-Pao, and then Fluttermane, and I think Dragonite's going to be our last one. We get Terra Ghost right away with Tornadus. Depends on who they open with. If they bring out Iron Bundle, I will use Tailwind straight up so that we get the boost in speed immediately. I mean, Tornadus isn't going to outspeed Iron Bundle, but it is Iron Bundle. Okay. Intimidate's going to lower down our attack 1 stage. And I'm also going to have to Terra Terra Ghost, because otherwise Freeze Dry is going to do 2 times the damage against Tornadus. So Terra Ghost, Terra Ghost Tailwind, so that we automatically speed or outspeed the Iron Bundle, because he goes. I didn't see Quark Drive, so we'll outspeed him right now, which means that he's most likely going to have Focus Sash, but I'm totally okay with that. He protected instead, which is totally fine. Extreme Speed is also troublesome with the Arcanine, but he didn't use it first, so I'm not worried about that. Probably going to go for the Will-O-Wisp. Nope, Flare Blitz right into the Chien-Pao, which is going to knock it down to its Sash. Oh, then the burn. Never mind, he's gone. But you know, I'm okay with. I'm okay with this. Now I'll bring in Dragonite. Bleak Wind. And Stomping Tantrum on the Iron Bundle. Bleak Wind goes off first. We'll knock down the Iron Bundle 90%. Lowering Arcanine's speed 1 stage, Stomping Tantrum over on the Iron Bundle, knocking him out right away. Will-O-Wisp will now go on to Dragonite, which is totally fine. I mean, it's not fine, but I have to accept it because of the fact that I Terra Ghosted my own Pokemon, so it is what it is. But I was really hoping for for having the swap out, which was a good option. I didn't want to get hit with a 2 times weak against move. Fluttermane comes out with the booster energy, so that's where it was. Cork Drive didn't activate. Speed was heightened. I've got Tailwind still. Oh well, that's a good question. Dragonite's gonna outspeed that. That's an interesting recourse. We'll go ahead and Bleak Wind again. And I will swap to Fluttermane. Get Dragon out of there and swap his move. Stomping Tantrum would work against Arcanine, but I don't think it's going to be the best option here. I will outspeed the Arcanine for sure. They'll protect, which is totally fine. Now they open themselves up for next turn. And here comes Bleak Wind. Does not hurt the Fluttermane. Will hit it. The Arcanine will not hit the Arcanine. He avoided it. Snarl. A little bit of damage on Landorus. No special attack drop, which is neat. We'll Bleak Wind again. And I will Shadow Ball. The Fluttermane. They're now going to have to Terra, or they're just going to say goodbye to their Fluttermane. They'll most likely Terra here. It would make the most sense. Here it is. Maybe Imprison would have worked better, because then they couldn't use like either Moonblast or Shadow Ball. But we'll see. Shadow Ball will go right into that Fluttermane. Oof, not even. Bleak Wind right after that will miss the Arcanine. Will hit the Fluttermane. Oh, that's bulky. That's a bulky boy. Shadow Ball into my Fluttermane is going to knock it out. Oh, it's not. It's really close though. Snarl. Oh, Snarl's gonna do it. That's probably why I didn't do as much damage. I'm still really excited that it did that much, but wow. All right, Tailwind is going. Tornadus will go ahead and do Bleak Wind again, and I'm going to just Extreme Speed into the Flutter Mane slot. It can't, well, it could. Yeah, it could. Dang it. I was like, did it protect last turn? No, it didn't. I got predicted. But still, Bleak Wind was going to come out and miss the Flutter Mane. Will it hit the Arcanine? It will not hit the Arcanine. Are you serious? Flare Blitz into the Tornado is going to knock him out. It's like I knew in the back of my mind, it's like use Rain Dance. Rain Dance. Activate it once, it becomes 100% effective. 100%. 3 versus 1. This is gonna be hard. Multi-skill's already been procced, but I'm locked into Extreme Speed, so that's it. That's all I got. I'm not got this Flutter Mane though. Force Arcanine to use something else. Withdrew Arcanine for Iron Hands. Let's go. Ugh. Now, part of the team that I've been really thinking up is like really fine-tuning the details on some of my Pokemon, and I figured that would be like the best way to go about it. Extreme Speed over to the Arcanine. Let's go. I'm burnt, but it's really, really weak. Fake Out. That's okay. Be really, really funny just to have the Covert Cloak on Dragonite, so it's like, oh look, I'm just clicking Extreme Speed to trick you, haha. You fell for it. Still, Arcanine's not doing any damage either. That's interesting. Arcanine will now go down. But this Dragonite's not doing like any damage. And that's honestly okay. The crit with Wild Charge is gonna knock me out of round 1. Ugh, that sucks. But hey, 4 more. Let's go. A new matchup suddenly. We've got Urshifu, Tornadus, Volcarona, Flutter Mane, Chien-Pao, and Rillaboom. I'm not sure what happened to the last match. I guess it didn't count it, so maybe we won, maybe we lost. I don't know. But now that we have a new match, I have a new strategy to come up with. Okay, so we're not. It has an Intimidator, but no Fake Out person. Well, Rillaboom's still Fake Out. Never mind. So they have Intimidate, they have Fake Out, and they have the 2 fastest Pokemon in the game. Urshifu, I don't know if it's Single Strike or Rapid Strike, and they have Volcarona. I think we'll go Tornadus, Chien-Pao, Flutter Mane, and Urshifu. We're gonna go with these 4, leave Dragonite and Iron Hands in the back. Fake Out is really, really useful, but since they have the ability of going Chien-Pao and Flutter Mane, and Chien-Pao, his normal Terra or Terra of choice is Ghost. I think mine's set to Ghost right now instead of Flying. I don't think so, but because I like having Flying for my Chien-Pao. It makes it not weak against dark attacks, not weak against fire attacks, immune to ground attacks, I believe. As you know, he was meant for Garchomp's partner, so I wanted him with the Flying so that Garchomp could do Garchomp things, or protecting. When I also used Great Tusk too, he was really, really useful. Fluttermane and Volcarona, both shiny. Let's go. All right. So Volcarona is a very interesting Pokemon. We got Booster Energy activated on the Fluttermane. Speed was heightened, so I have to use Tailwind here, or I have to say goodbye to well, I don't really necessarily have to say goodbye, right? Bug Fire for Volcarona. We're gonna get started off with Rain Dance, and then I'm gonna Sucker Punch the Fluttermane. They're gonna Terra. It's gonna be the Fluttermane for sure. I mean, they could go Volcarona, but I don't know why you would. Oh, they do. Interesting. Changed it to water. That's cool. Protect on the Fluttermane. Sucker Punch will not land. Rain Dance, lowering down Volcarona's ability or fire attacks considerably. Flipper Dance. It's gonna raise its special attack, its speed. Oh, its special defenses too. And then we're gonna go ahead and use Bleak Wind. I think Terran to Flying here is the best. Actually, I could just Protect on Chien-Pao. That might be the better option. I'm probably playing this wrong though. Instead of clicking Tailwind and becoming, oh, I'm oh so faster, I am literally doing Bleak Wind to maybe pop the Focus Sash if they have it. I know Fluttermane doesn't. Fluttermane will go for the double protect, but it will fail. Chien-Pao will now protect, so that doesn't get hit with Volcarona, because, you know, fire attacks do hurt quite a bit. They will activate Tailwind. Now I have to activate Tailwind next turn. Bleak Wind on my side of the field is going to do a little bit of damage, not too much, but just a little bit. We're going to definitely activate Tailwind now. I don't have a choice. And I'm going to Sucker Punch the Fluttermane. Maybe it'll work a second time. Maybe they'll protect a third time. I don't know. It failed once already. Withdrew Fluttermane. Wow, they're reading me like a book. Bring out Landorus. Intimidate is going to lower down my attack. Sucker Punch fails. I'm going to Tailwind. They're going to Heat Wave. Does barely anything to Tornadus, about 52 damage. Chien-Pao took a considerable hit. But now I have Rock Slide that I have to deal with. So right now, Chien-Pao is a liability. So I'm gonna Terra Ghost, Bleak Wind, and I'm gonna Ice Spinner into Landorus slot. Because I'm afraid of Rock Slide, and it could use Earthquake, but I'm more afraid of Rock Slides that Landorus is going to give. It's most likely Assault Vest. It will protect. Man, I'm being read like a book. I'm leaving this Volcarona alone. Why am I doing that? I'm literally just playing into their hands. River Dance again. Special attack, defense, and speed. Bleak Wind is not going to do anything to the Landorus, but it will hit the Volcarona. dropping its speed. So I've got one more turn of rain. All right, let's do this. It's playing really, really well because it doesn't want to get hit with Sucker Punch. I think that's what I'm falling into. So I just need to start playing around attacks that I know that can hit. Volcarona is still pretty strong, but it's got boost in special defenses and not physical defenses. I don't know how the base stats work for Volcarona. I'll bring those up now. They withdrew Landorus, which is totally fine. Bring out Fluttermane again. They will not get the boost, but here comes Sacred Sword into Volcarona, which is not going to do anything, but it has Rocky Helmet. Heat Wave will now come out, and it's going to knock out the Chien Pao and the Tornadus, but I get a free switch into the Pokemon that I have in the back. Volcarona's base defense is 65. Everything else is 100. Everything else is based on special. So its speed's base 100, special defense is base 105, and special attacks base 135 as well. All right, so now we'll bring out Urshifu and Fluttermane. Now rain is gone. I still have a turn of Tailwind, but I also have speed. So I'm going to Moonblast into Volcarona, and I'm going to Surging Strikes into the Fluttermane. I still have Tailwind. Tailwind should have worn out this turn, but we'll see. I do not want to hit the Volcarona, so... Oh, Fluttermane protects? Oh, well, that sucks, because, yeah. Moonblast goes right into the Volcarona, does not knock it out, gets really, really close. Surging Strikes goes through protects, because Unseen Fist says all physical attacks go through it, so take that. And Giga Drain. All of that health just came right back. We are donezo here. We are donezo here. I could have went into the Volcarona, but I left it alive way too long. So obviously there is going to be some changes that I would like to make to the team. A lot of people are using Terra Water. And Terra Water is really, really good. Don't get me wrong. But Shadow Ball, what? Oh, it says effective. I thought it said super effective. My dyslexia must be kicking in. Detect. It's just protect. Moonblast into that protect slot. Doesn't really matter. This match is over. Oh, man. It's like, are you trying to outspeed me? Just hit that Urshifu. I don't know why I'm trying to stick in. There's no way. Withdrew Urshifu to bring in Landorus. Full HP, shiny. That's cool. Intimidate, drop my attack. That's fine. Moonblast. Skadoosh. About half. Giga Drain, huh? We're out of here. I don't know why I keep like trying to fight it. So there's a couple of things that I could see changing on my team. Like I said, a lot of people are using Terra Water, and the only thing that people have to really fear is Iron Hands. And if he doesn't come on the field, There's no way that people could deal with it. I'm kind of wondering if I should take Fluttermane back to the way that I had him. So instead of it being so... He's not necessarily defensive, he's just my answer to Trick Room. I just noticed something a little bit before. Anyway, he's my answer to a Trick Room. So this matchup, we got Specterior, Galarian Moltres, Grimmsnarl, Hisuian Arcanine, Goldengo, and Gastrodon. Gastrodon's everyone's answer to Urshifu right now. And Urshifu, even though he's really, really good, is becoming a problem, and not a lot of people know how to deal with him. Guys, he's literally the Palafin before Palafin got knocked off for someone different. Just bring in people with Thunderbolt and you'll be fine. Okay, so that's a lot of dark types. Galarian Moltres and Grimmsnarl. We got Specterior, that's Ghost. Goldengo, that's Ghost. A lot of Pokemon that would definitely not be recommended. We'll be bringing in Tornadus, Fluttermane, Urshifu, and I think I'll bring in Dragonite. I won't bring in Qianpao, and I won't bring in Iron Hands this time. I'm bringing in Dragonite for Stomping Tantrum. He seems like a really good competitor for that. Although I'm not using the strat to Terra Normal, you know, blow them up with extreme speed, but I don't always have to do that. Hisuian Arcanine comes out, as well as Grimmsnarl. Intimidate will lower down my attack. Boost energy will activate on my Fluttermane to give me a boost of speed to make it 307. Now, in this particular case, I do need to lower Arcanine's sting a little bit, but he does have Rock Slide, so Tornadus is in immediate danger. I can't taunt the Grimmsnarl, but I'm faster than everything on the field. So I'm gonna Rain Dance. Terra Ghost Rain Dance to save me from Rock Slide. And I'm gonna Moonblast the Grimmsnarl. Now Grimmsnarl is gonna activate Light Screen. I think that's for the special attackers, and then Reflect after that for physical. If he's a screener, and most people do use him as a screener. Now he could be what I would particularly want, which is, you know, fake out screens and then Parting Shot, or he could just be Parting Shot. But here comes the Light Screen, which is going to lower down special attacks. Moonblast right into that slot. It's going to do 3/4 of his health and lower down his special attack. Flare Blitz from the Arcanine is not going to do a whole lot because of the rain, but it is going to burn the Fluttermane. Now Fluttermane is burnt. Owie. And Arcanine is damaged by the recoil. But the cool thing about this is now Tornadus' Bleak Wind will hit 100% of the time. It's not going to do anything to the Arcanine because he's part rock, but it's going to hit the Grimmsnarl for quite a bit. And I could go for the Shadow Ball on the Arcanine, which I think I'm going to do. Parting Shot, which is going to hit the Fluttermane, minus his special attack 1, which is detrimental. But he goes back to the trainer. Ba, 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 ba. Brings out Gastrodon. Shadow Ball into the Arcanine isn't going to do a lot, but I lower down its special defenses, and here comes the Bleak Wind, which is not going to do anything, but I did stuff. Rock Slide, which is what I was trying to avoid, will take it down to Fluttermane, but it will hardly do any damage to the Tornadus. Here comes Dragonite. Tornadus will go ahead and use Tailwind, and I'll use Stomping Tantrum on the Arcanine. Now I could swap into Galarian Moltres, which would be a cool justified read, or it could stay in and get knocked out. It looks like it's gonna stay in and possibly get knocked out. Here comes Tailwind, Stomping Tantrum, right into that slot. They were not able to get Reflect up before Grimmsnarl had to retreat. Ice Beam, which is going to do half damage to Dragonite. To bring out the Grimmsnarl, and it could be the time where he does Reflect. Could be. We're gonna go ahead and use Bleak Wind, and I'm gonna swap Dragonite to get him out of that slot to bring in Urshifu. Because another Ice Beam is gonna surely knock him out, and I can't save him from being minus or weak to four times. Here comes Reflect. So now physical moves won't do that much. Bleak Wind will not knock out the Grimmsnarl. Gets really, really close though. Drops Gastrodon speed. Ice Beam will not come out, hit Urshifu. Doesn't do a whole lot. We'll go ahead and do it again. But this time I'm going to close combat the Gastrodon. I need to get the Gastrodon off the field so that Urshifu can attack. And so that Dragonite can also come down and start raining fire and brimstone. With extreme speed. That would be really, really beneficial here, but with Reflect, it's going to do a lot less damage, especially since he's not Terra normal. So that's something that I also have to consider from here on out. Bleak Wind, Grimmsnarl goes down. Drops the speed again for Gastrodon. Close combat into that Gastrodon, and it's going to knock it out. I'm dropping my defense this one stage, but I did knock out 2 Pokemon for the price of 1, and Rocky Helmet takes a little bit more chip damage off of my Urshifu. Rain stopped. Now I'll bring out Specterior. The only Pokemon they have left. How do I have for Taunt? Or not Taunt, but Tailwind. Tailwind has 1 more turn. We could set up for Rain Dance. Yeah, we'll do that. Rain Dance and then Surging Strikes onto Specterior. Because I believe I outspeed it. I think so. Specterior is the faster one of the horses. We will Terra Fairy. Do Rain Dance again. Should give Urshifu quite a bit of an advantage here. Surging Strikes. Oh, it's gone. It's absolutely gone. Citrus Berry will activate. Give it just a little bit over. 1 hit. 2 hit. It's not surviving. And 3 hit. Down goes Specterior. Alrighty, next match is up. We've got Tornadus, Chi-Yu, Amoonguss, Indeedee, Sneasler, and Basculegion. Okay, so because of this, we need to be very, very careful of how we activate Rain Dance. I don't think Bleak Wind is going to be the thing that I activate first and foremost, but they do have Indeedee in the field, so priority is not going to be the thing that I want to use hardly at all in this match. So we're going to bring in our heavy hitters for Tailwind. So Tornadus, and then we'll bring in, I want to say Iron Hands, but I think Iron Hands is going to be hindered quite a bit, but he would be able to take out Chi-Yu quite a bit. Dragonite can also take out Chi-Yu, but do I outspeed? Chi-Yu is pretty fast. It's not fast as Fluttermane, but it's up there. It's really up there. Is it weak to fighting? No, I don't think so. I think that one's specifically weak against ground. Dragonite, Urshifu, and then Chien-Pao. Tornadus, Dragonite, Urshifu, and Qianpao is going to be what we bring in. Hopefully this will be what our solution is going to be. We might be all over the place, but we do have our supporter and then 3 possible attackers that could drive us into endgame. So Sneasler and Indeedee. Second Surge hits first. Field got weird. Psychic Seed went on to Sneasler. Okay. I'm going to Tailwind. And then I'm going to Stomping Tantrum the Sneasler. Now, Indeedee is going to go like, hey, follow me. I want all the hits first. And I don't know if that's necessarily a good idea, but it could be what they decide to do. Tailwind going off first will allow me to get like a considerable advantage on sweet tiers. Now, they could do the opposite and be like, hey, I want to do Trick Room. In which that's totally fine. They swapped to Rock for the Terra. Interesting. So Rock Slide's in my near future. Follow me from the Indeedee. Could be Dire Claw. Maybe Rock is just like one of those where everyone kind of ignores it for a while. Who knows? Rock Slide will come out from that Sneasler though. He's incredibly fast, even under Tailwind. Considerable amount of damage. Dragonite is flinched. Swap to Urshifu immediately. Stomping Tantrum again. You know what? We're going to Terra Normal. And we're going to go Stomping Tantrum one more time. I can't be hit with another one of those attacks. Tornadus taking like living from that hit was pretty awesome, but I wasn't expecting the flinch at the end. Now Indeedee is gonna use, you know, its follow me mechanics again, just totally fine. Oh, it'll use Helping Hand. This time it'll knock out Dragonite. Because it will go first. Here comes the Rock Slide. 2 times damage. Will not knock out the Dragonite. Stomping Tantrum goes right into it, and it failed last time because it flinched. Which means 150 damage or base power right into that slot, which is going to knock it out right away. Booyah! Send out Tornadus next. Now I'm going to go ahead and Surge and Strikes the Tornadus, and I'm going to then use Stomping Tantrum on Indeedee. I still can't use any priority moves, and I'm not going to. But Dragonite's going to attack first. They'll activate Sunny Day. Interesting. Ah, to lower down Urshifu. Oh, and he's got the Rocky helmet? Okay. That's going to be... Oh, Jesus, that's a lot of damage. Pokemon was hit 3 times. Stomping Tantrum. Boop. Hit by the Rocky Helmet. Does it knock out Dragonite? It does. Good. Honestly, good. Good. We'll bring out Tornadus. Protect on Urshifu, and I'll Rain Dance. Protect. Follow me. Rain Dance, they're probably going to reset it to go back to Sunny Day. Tailwind. Good call. they have the faster set. They use Tailwind, so they're going to reset it to maybe Sun. If they reset it to Sun, then anything I do isn't going to really work, so I'm going to close combat into the Entity, and I'm going to Bleak Wind after that. Tailwind. Follow me. Sunny day. Okay. I knew that. They were going to rechange it back to the harsh weather. I'll reactivate Tailwind on my side. And here comes the close combat right into the Entity. Is going to knock it right out. And hopefully I survive. It's not crit. I do survive. Critting with Rocky Helmet is so detrimental. And the weirdness finally disappears. Chiyu comes out. Oh, it is weakening its fighting. Oh, interesting. With Jet. And we'll just set it back to rain. Okay, what are you gonna do? Nothing. Oh, Aqua Jet right into Chiyu, which is gonna one-hit KO in the rain. And what does Tornadus do? Sunny day. Makes the weather harsh again, and he's the only one left on the field. So Resurgence strikes, and we're gonna go ahead and rain dance this. Surgeon strikes, and down goes Tornadus. Oh my goodness, I was not expecting this. I thought I had lost like a while ago. But the fact of the call to like close combat, the Entity to deal with all the Pokemon that had it, like Sneasler, that was really, really good. All right, we've got Gothitelle, Gastrodon, Arcanine, Rillaboom, Tinglu, and Fluttermane. So, interesting matchup here. What do we got to do? What do we have to deal with? The Arcanine is going to be a problem. The Gastrodon is also going to be a problem. Now, because those two are in the team preview, I think Dragonite's going to be the one that I need to summon to be able to beat this team. Now, Gothitelle Shadow Tag makes it so that I can't retreat. So besides that, I have a pretty good team to be able to withstand anything that comes up. The thing is that Rillaboom with Fake Out does upset quite a few things here. We'll bring in Tornadus and Dragonite, Chimpao in the back, and we'll also bring in Iron Hands. We'll leave Urshifu and Fluttermane alone. Probably a terrible choice, probably not. It depends on what they bring in. I don't think it's bad, but we'll see. We'll double check. They bring in Fluttermane and Gothitelle against Dragonite and Tornadus. Totally fine with this outcome though. So what we could do is taunt the Gothitelle, but I am kind of weak against Fluttermane. So we'll taunt the Gothitelle and we will Terra normal Ice Spinner the Fluttermane. We'll get rid of our weakness to Fairy. We'll also get rid of our weakness to Ice because Fluttermanes can have Icy Wind. So I kind of don't want to have to deal with that combo. Since Gothitel's in the field, I can't switch out until she leaves. So hopefully when I taunt her, she doesn't activate anything stupid. Fake out will go into Dragonite, which is totally fine. Here comes Taunt. Fell for the taunt. Moonblast into Tornadus. Will survive. And that's a Life Orb Fluttermane. Neat. Tailwind. And then Ice Spinner again into the Fluttermane slot. It's not every day that I get to activate, you know, a really good move like Ice Spinner on a Terra normal Dragonite, but that's totally fine because they're not probably expecting that I wasn't going to switch in. Tornadus is literally doing his job right now. If he stays in, that's great. He just shuts off one person and stays in to do a little bit more damage to another. Ice Spinner will not knock out the Fluttermane, but Moonblast will come into that slot, will not knock out Dragonite, and lower its HP even more. Gothitelle will then use Psychic to knock out Tornadus. Now, Gothitelle can't do anything because it's literally set to... it's literally set to do nothing but attack. So I know Sucker Punch is going to work here. Sword of Ruin, lower down everyone's attack or defenses. Sucker Punch to the Gothitelle, Ice Spinner into the Fluttermane. Fluttermane can protect. Fluttermane can leave the field. Fluttermane can do anything that it wants. But Gothitelle, I mean, Gothitelle could leave the field too, which would probably be the best option for them if I was in their shoes. Because I know that I'm taunted, I can't defend myself, I can't use Perish Song, I can't use Wide Guard, I can't use Protect, I can't use Heal Pulse. Withdraw the Gothitelle, good call. Bring out your new Pokemon, which is Arcanine, gonna lower down my attacks. But is it gonna be enough to save? Oh, interesting. Fluttermane will protect, so it will save both. Now, Tornadus being gone, I can't use Rain Dance to lower down the damage that Arcanine's gonna do. So what I have to do instead is swap out again to bring out Iron Hands. And actually, Sucker Punch the Fluttermane, swap Dragonite for the Iron Hands. Because I'm fearing for a Will-O-Wisp plus the negative statage on Dragonite. I could also reset its move, so I know what it's going to be doing. So Fluttermane's most likely going to attack. What's it going to do? I have no idea, but it will do something. We know it has Moonblast and it has Protect. 100%. Withdraw the Fluttermane, so that's totally fine. Brings out Gothitelle. So now Shadow Tag is active again. Sucker Punch will fail a second time. Flare Blitz will then go into the Iron Hands. And it does a lot of damage. And leaves with a burn. Owie. Owie, owie, owie. Okay, gotcha. We're going to go ahead and Ice Spinner into Gothitelle, and I'm going to fake out the Arcanine. I can't swap out, Gothitelle's back. Fake out Arcanine, you can't do anything this turn. Fake out Chien-Pao, they can't do anything this turn. That's great. I like how this turned out. Oh, my Tailwind's gone now. That's a good call. Maybe I should have just Drain Punched it in the face instead. Who knows? Sucker Punch the Gothitelle. I don't think it's actually going to do anything, but we'll Drain Punch the Arcanine to get a little bit of HP back. I think Arcanine's faster than we are, though, so that's the one thing. Sucker Punch into the Gothitelle is going to knock it out right away. Goodbye. And that was even a crit. Wow. That's insane. Flare Blitz is going to go right into the Chien-Pao. The Sash is gone. So it's going to be a one-hit KO. Recoil is going to take down Arcanine a little bit, and here comes the Drain Punch. Take out a little bit more HP, but I get a little bit more HP. 13. No, 23. 7. 7, that's all I got. Okay, Terra normal Dragonite comes back onto the field. We're going to go ahead and Extreme Speed into the Arcanine, and I'm going to Heavy Slam into the Fluttermane. Fluttermane's going to attack first, unfortunately. Arcanite's going to Protect, which is totally fine. I'm going to lock into that slot, though. Is it going to be Moonblast, or is it going to be Dazzling Gleam? If you do get Dazzling Gleam, you called it. Moonblast is going to go into the Dragonite. It's going to knock it out, unfortunately. And here comes the heavy slam up to the Fluttermane, knocking it out, bringing it down to 2 versus 1. And I am burnt. Tinglu. I'm officially able to say that this game is over. Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to Drain Punch the Tinglu. They're going to Terra to something different, like maybe Poison, so the damage won't do... Oh, well, there's also Flare Blitz that gets a crit. So Arcanine, being faster, just attacks. I knew the game was over, like I said. All right, our first match is with Typhlosion. This is Hisuian, Lilligant, Ursaluna, Torkoal, Fluttermane, and Thundurus, and not Tornadus. Okay, so we kind of see that this is a Desired Sun team with some fixins of a Trick Room aspect with Fluttermane can using it, and then Thundurus to lower down people's speed. I think the best option here is to get rid of the Torkoal setup so that we can outspeed everyone else. So we're going to go in with Tornadus Chien-Pao. We're gonna use I mean, I would have to use that, right? 310, no, 312. 312 is the Ligant. I'm not going to be able to beat that with Urshifu. But I might bring Urshifu in. No, we'll bring in Iron Hands, Chien-Pao, and Urshifu. We're going to bring in Iron Hands so that we can flinch the Torkoal if he does come out at any point in time. Pardon me. Ursaluna and Thundurus. Both shiny, I think. That's dope. Okay, so we can taunt the Thundurus. And we're gonna Drain Punch. Well. Yeah, we'll fake out the Ursaluna. They're gonna Terra. Who's your Terra target? It's going to be the Ursaluna to get rid of the weakness. So it's Fairy. That way Drain Punch doesn't hurt, but Heavy Slam is going to also hurt in just a little bit. Fake out into Ursaluna. Taunt. Do you have the Mental Herb? You do not. You go with Wind Bolt instead. Tornadus will barely survive with 10 HP. Not very effective against the Iron Hands. And Ursaluna was flinched and could not move. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get started off with a Tailwind, just set up for the next few turns. And we will Heavy Slam into the Ursaluna. Now this isn't a typical Ursaluna. I do not see Guts coming out. Wind Bolt. Ooh, that's spec'd. Well, it's probably not spec'd, but it's not using anything else besides that. So, ooh, that's a bulky Ursaluna. Headlong Rush into the Iron Hands is going to knock him out. Now, defenses drop one whole stage on both. And it's not spec'd, it's scarfed. That's what would be the classification there. Place on the left. Ooh. Jianpao is going to go straight into Thunderous. Terra Water, Search and Strikes into the Ursaluna. Let's see if this gives us a better result. Headlong Rush, though. That's weird. That should be like a Great Tusk only move. Who else learns Headlong Rush? We're going to Terra Water into our Ursaluna. Ice Spinner is now to go into the Thunderous. It's going to knock him out. And here's Surging Strikes. Oof. 1, 2. Ah, 3 Pokemon learn Headlong Rush. Interesting. Ursaluna gets it when he evolves. Great Tusk gets it, and Hariyama gets it. Interesting. All right. Tailwind is still out for at least 2 turns. Here comes Ligant. And Torkoal should follow up right behind him. Fluttermane. Okay. Okay. I do have Tailwind for 2 more turns. So we're going to Ice Spinner into the Lilligant. And I'm going to Surgeon Strikes the Fluttermane. Boom. Lilligant drops down to its Sash. This is a more physical variant. Here comes Surgeon Strikes. Into the Fluttermane. Ooh. Down goes Fluttermane. 2 hits. It's weird. I went from like being the underdog to being the one that's hunting. That's dope. Jianpao takes a little bit of damage, but it's not too much. And we're going to then search Surgeons. Actually, why not? Aqua Jet. Battle is canceled. I didn't think that I was going to win that just by the first couple of hits from Thunderous. Honestly, I thought that it was over. But I'm glad that turned around. All right, next match is up. We've got Farigiraf, Landorus, Sableye, Ursaluna. Wow. Urshifu and Fluttermane. Let's see. What should we do here? Sableye is probably going to be a problem. Landorus, and this is Therian Landorus. It's also going to be an issue for part of it. Fake Out is going to be really, really interesting here. We're going to bring in Tornadus and Fluttermane. Jianpao and Iron Hands. We'll leave Urshifu and Dragonite in the back, even though I think those 2 would be really, really beneficial here. They do have Farigiraf, so priority moves are not going to be super helpful, but I do want to prevent Trick Room being used as well by Farigiraf, which is most likely what's going to happen. Probably the first turn is going to be Farigiraf and Ursaluna, because they're going to need to set up Trick Room to have that strategy up and running before I could take advantage of it. So Farigiraf and Sableye. It's Fluttermane and Tornadus. Which in this combo, we're looking pretty well. What we're going to be doing is I can't taunt Sableye, and Farigiraf most likely will have Armor Tail, so I can't really do anything for him either. So I'm going to do is set up Rain Dance for next turn, and I'm going to Imprison now so that Trick Room cannot be used. Sableye will use Fake Out on Tornadus. He just ignores it because Covert Cloak says so. And Imprison to stop whatever shenanigans Farigiraf was going to use, and it was going to use Trick Room. So there we go. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and get started off with the Bleak Wind. Goes right off that. And Moonblast. Well, now that that's gone, we'll go ahead and Terra Fairy right into the Sableye to knock it out. We need to get rid of our weakness to We're not weak to Psychic. Why do I keep thinking that? I keep thinking that Ghost is weak to Psychic for some reason. I think it might have been the case in other gens, but I don't think it's the case now. But still, a two times hit for Fluttermane is pretty good with Moonblast. Bleakwind will now be hitting 100%. Psychic will now go into the Tornadus. No, Fluttermane, which would have hurt like quite a bit. Moonblast. Sableye eats a berry that lowers down fairy attacks, but it's not going to be enough because he took a little bit of damage due to Bleakwind. Sit out Fluttermane now. Now my Fluttermane is faster than theirs. That doesn't really mean anything, but I just know that it's faster. But I get put into a really difficult spot. I'm gonna Moonblast the Fergraph so that I can get Fluttermane out of the field. I haven't used Tailwind yet, which is totally fine. They're gonna Terra now. It's most likely gonna be the Fluttermane. And it is to get rid of that weakness to Shadow Ball, which is totally fine. They can't use Moonblast or Shadow Ball. They have to use Dazzling Gleam. Ally switch. Okay. Moonblast is going to go right into that Fluttermane slot. Still does a lot of damage. Here comes Bleakwind. Oh, Dazzling Gleam first. Fluttermane will barely survive, and so will Tornadus. Bleakwind comes after that and knocks out the Fluttermane, so it's now just the Fergraph and the fourth Pokemon in the back. Ooh, Ally Switch. Ally Switch, man. That is so hard to contend with. And here comes the Ursaluna, which cannot be summoned under Trick Room. I currently have that blocked. We're going to go ahead and Bleakwind again. And I'm going to Moonblast into Ursaluna, thinking Ally Switch is going to happen again. Battle's canceled instead. Whew! Fluttermane coming in clutch with the Imprison, turning off Trick Room. All right, our next match is ready to go. We've got Galarian, Moltres, Mousehold, Grimmsnarl, Cresselia, Rillaboom, and Urshifu. So we do have a couple of people in there that could fake out Super Fang or Pop Bomb or even Follow Me with Mousehold. Couple Pokemon that are weak against like Fluttermane especially, and then we have, I think that's going to be Single Striker Urshifu. He's been making quite a bit of rounds, especially in the World Circuit. Like you can see both Single Strike and Rapid Strike, which is awesome. Single Strike is really good against Trick Room setters because it can knock out most of them, if not all of them. I think the calc that I heard from Astoria VGC is about 75% of the time Single Striker Urshifu can knock them out. So we're gonna get set up with Tornadus and Chien-Pao to start off. They're really strong at the beginning. Then we'll go into Iron Hands and Fluttermane in case if I need to do some fairy damage at the end. Let's see how this this match goes. All right, they send out Cresselia and Grimmsnarl versus my Tornadus and Chien-Pao. Now, Tornadus has taunt abilities, so I don't really have to worry about there, and I'm going to be the fastest person on the field. But I'm going to taunt the Cresselia, thinking that it's going to be I'm thinking that it's going to be what am I thinking of? Rocky Helmet. A lot of Cresselia uses Rocky Helmet. So I'm hoping to turn it off here, but it could still be using the Mental Herb. I'm mostly built on physical Pokemon, so this is going to be very interesting. They withdrew Cresselia, which is totally fine. Bring out Moltres. I'm okay with that. Taunt doesn't go off because Moltres is dark. Reflect goes off to lower down special attacks on their side of the field. Sacred Sword will now go to Grimmsnarl. Does very little damage. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get set up with a Rain Dance. And I'm going to then go ahead and Ice Spinner into Moltres. Now, Moltres will probably have weakness policy, so when I do this, it's going to hurt for a lot. They're going to Terra, and it's going to go into the Moltres slot. It is. Let's go. Poison, seems like. That's dope. So, Rain Dance. Get set up in the rain so that Bleak Wind does a little bit more. Ice Spinner will then come in after that. Does very little damage, but they will Nasty Plot. Oh. Well done. Spirit Break into the Chin Pout, which is not going to get it to its sash, but it is going to pop it regardless. Let's go ahead and taunt the Moltres so that we don't have to deal with that anymore. And I'm going to hit it with a Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch goes off on the Moltres, does about half, or lowers it to half. Berserk raises its special attack, and it now will eat a Citrus Berry. So what procs Berserk again? That's interesting. It didn't proc it when I did Ice Spinner. But now Taunt. It's going to stop it from doing something else. Light Screen will go off. And Fiery Wrath at a +2. Tornadus barely hangs on. I can't see him on the list right now, so I'll just ignore it for the moment. Moonblast. Maybe Slam. Okay. Orbigout Iron Hands. Heavy Slam is definitely for the Grimmsnarl for sure. Okay, now we'll go ahead and get started with Bleak Wind. And I'm going to fake out the Moltres. Moltres is dark, so I don't see it on the list here of dark Pokemon, which is really, really weird. So we'll go to Fire so I can bring up Moltres. Fake out will stop Moltres from attacking, will not touch the Grimmsnarl. He can attack me just fine. Bleak Wind will also come in. Oh, that was a crit for that Spirit Break. I still want to know what's proccing Berserk, so we're going to take this time to figure that out. Okay, Berserk. When it takes a hit that causes its HP to become half or less. Oh, neat. So now it's a +4. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So I'm going to need to do Tailwind instead of doing damage to set up for the next person that's going to come in. And I'm going to Heavy Slam the Grimmsnarl. It's probably not going to do anything just because he's got Reflect and Light Screen up, but it's going to be something. Heavy Slam will go next, so that means I'm faster than Moltres. That's interesting. But Fire Wrath is going to do a lot of damage since it is +4. It's not going to knock out the Iron Hands, but it will take down the Tornadus, which is totally fine. Now with Fluttermane coming in as my final Pokemon, Cresselia will now come out as well. Terra, Fairy, Imprison. And we will Thunder Punch. Drain Punch? Drain Punch isn't very effective. Heavy Slam. 75. Based on weight? Let's try weight. I don't think Moltres weighs that much. He might. 60 kilograms. Or 145 pounds. In comparison to Iron Hands, which will bring him up now. Protect will happen on Moltres. I'll use Imprison. Heavy Slam goes into the protected Iron Hands. Or protected Moltres, I'm sorry. And Cresselia cannot use Trick Room. And the rain stopped. And Iron Hands is 839 pounds. So that's a huge difference between the two. I'll Shadow Ball the Cresselia, and I'll Heavy Slam the Moltres. This should do a lot of damage regardless of if it's weakness 2. I'm hoping that the base power is at least 90, maybe more. Shadow Ball will go right into the Cresselia. Does not very much. Heavy Slam again, right into the Moltres. Will not knock it out either. Air Slash will come in right after that to knock out Iron Hands. And Cresselia, Psychic. Lower down special defenses for the Fluttermane. And leftovers will activate for the Cresselia. Okay, so this is 1v3. It's going to be very hard for Fluttermane to take on all 3 of them now. So this is probably a loss for me. But I did do my best, and that's all that really matters. We'll take out the Moltres, though, with the Shadow Ball. Oh, well, never mind. It'll protect. So that sucks. Lunar Lunar Blessing. It's going to heal everyone on the field about 30%. Yoop. Yep, and with them being able to heal, this match is over. Oh, they're Reflect War. And my Tailwind's gone. That's cool. They still have Light Screen for 2 more turns, though. So it's good. We're out. There's not. Lunar Blessing. Well, Cresselia by himself is really, really hard to deal with, but Lunar Blessing as well. Oof. 4th match is up. We've got Torkoal, Hariyama, Farigiraf, Indeedee, Armarouge, and Gastrodon. Wow. This is like season regulation A Pokemon. This is dope. Okay. So obviously it's a Trick Room team with Hariyama being able to do Fake Out, but it has less Guts and Flame Orb. We have Indeedee that's going to preserve priority moves, so I can't use it against them, and they're going to highlight that to everyone else on my side of the field, plus Gastrodon, which is going to absorb a lot of Urshifu's moves. So it's like kind of like an anti-meta team, but Torkoal is like incredibly powerful. So that's interesting to me. We'll go in with Tornadus and Chien-Pao, Fluttermane, and Urshifu. That's who we'll bring. Even though Gastrodon is the direct counter for Urshifu, like I said yesterday, Urshifu is just Palafin, just with a 3-hit move. So everyone's gonna bring in a way to counter him, especially when they see him in the roster. It's like, okay, I have to bring in Gastrodon because I have to be able to withstand attacks from this Pokemon specifically. So we're going to start off the match with Armarouge and Indeedee. Psychic Surge comes out. No priorities can be used currently. Psychic Seed will also get activated on the Indeedee, giving it as defense boost. So we're going to go ahead and get started off with maybe Fluttermane should have been better to bring in here, but I'm not 100% worried about that too much. Rain Dance, and then we will then go ahead and do Ice Spinner. Yeah, we'll have to do the Ice Spinner on Indeedee. Indeedee is going to say, follow me, which there it is. I wish that if you were a normal type, you ignore that, just kind of like Rage Powder. Grass Pokemon ignore Rage Powder. So Ice Spinner will now go right into the Indeedee slot. Armarouge has not attacked yet, which means that's a Trick Room setter. And here it comes. Oh, Heat Wave. Oh, dope. Okay, never mind. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. I can now taunt, so that's really, really cool. Does follow me go before? I'm not gonna risk it. I'm just gonna go Bleak Wind and Sucker Punch. No, because NDD is gonna direct me over to their thing again. So I'm just gonna go straight into that slot. Follow me, there it is. Sacred Sword into the entity, it's gonna knock it out. Here comes Bleak Wind. Oh, it does a lot of damage to the Armarouge, but it doesn't knock him out. But it will lower his speed. There's the Trick Room. That's what I was looking for. It's like I knew it was gonna happen sometime. Sent out Farigiraf. Retreat for the Fluttermane. And I'm going... Oh, I can't. I was gonna Sucker Punch, but I can't now. Protect instead. Farigiraf's got an Armor Tail, which prevents people being hit by priority moves, which is the direct counter to Dragonites, Chanpaos, Urshifus, like everybody. Like I could even bring out Urshifu right now and cause a problem. Expanding Force. Boop. That's a lot of damage. Dazzling Gleam from Farigiraf does not hurt the Chanpao, but it will probably knock out the Fluttermane. It does not. So I'm going to Terra Fairy Trick Room and swap out to to Urshifu. Chanpao already used Protect. I can't do anything more, so I'll bring in Urshifu to hopefully bring in some sort of counter. We will Terra Fairy so that we're not affected by a lot. Hoping anyway. This might have made Psychics different, but we'll see. Expanding Force on the Fluttermane. It's gonna knock it out. It's totally fine. I kind of expected that to happen, honestly. As soon as I swapped her out, it's like, okay, I can try to go for this. It's kind of hard after that. Oh, Urshifu will get hit really, really hard. Probably do the double protect this turn. Probably do the double protect. Okay, so how long does they have for Trick Room? 2 more turns. So protect here. Surgeon Strikes. There. We'll see if that works. It probably won't, but I'll give it a try. I'm mainly protecting Chanpao from the Dazzling Gleam. Here comes the Heat Wave. Doesn't do anything, but it misses Urshifu as well, so that's cool. Dazzling Gleam comes out. Oh, well, that's gonna hit. Never mind. That's unfortunate, but that's okay. Even with my switch game, I can't. Rain stopped. Heat Wave is going to do a lot, but I'm going to do this instead. Let's go for the double protect. Let's see if it works. Probably won't, but we'll see. It does not. It's a 50-50 chance. Here comes the Rain Dance. The Heat Wave's going to come in after that. The Expanding Force Dazzling Gleam combo. And I couldn't get through Trick Room or Priority. And that's sometimes how the match goes. Last match of the day is here. We've got Amoonguss, Palafin, I don't know what that thing is. Not a lot of people bring it. Grimmsnarl, Golden Go, and Dragonite. So this is a very interesting team. Let's see what happens. We'll have to probably go in with like the switch-ins for Palafin and Amoonguss. So let's bring in Tornadus and Fluttermane, Iron Hands, and Chien-Pao. We'll leave Dragonite and Urshifu in the back. 46 seconds. Wow, that's pretty fast. I didn't think I was gonna get able to do it. Final match. Ooh, I like that picture. That's dope. Golden Go and Grimmsnarl, let's go. Tornadus and Fluttermane. So, Golden Go. Instant, like, problem. But I'm the fastest Pokemon on the field. So I'm going to go ahead and get straight off with the Bleak Wind. Well, Rain Dance. Swap immediately. Ooh. Fluttermane, what are you gonna do? Shadow Ball into Golden Go. I'm setting off Rain Dance so that I can, one, get a benefit from Fallout Bleak Wind. Trick. That's gonna take the Covert Cloak. And you get Choice Band. Oh, dope. Shadow Ball. Oh, right into the Golden Go, which is gonna knock it out right away. Trick, huh? Trick Grimmsnarl, that's dope. I mean, the rain's set up, so I'm good. I can't use anything else, but I'm good. Dragonite comes out next. Terra Ghost, Bleak Wind. And I'm just gonna go straight into that Grimmsnarl slot. Why not? Whoa! If only Iron Hands could learn Trick, that'd be dope. Wither the Grimmsnarl, that's totally cool with that. Bring out Amoonguss. Alright, so I don't know what kind of Dragonite this is, but if it's Terra Normal, it's definitely going to be seeing some stars here with two ghosts on the field. And one, which is going to be locked into Bleak Wind, and Amoonguss hates that attack. Moonblast goes right into the Amoonguss slot, doesn't do like hardly anything, but Bleak Wind will. And it almost knocks it out, but just barely hangs on. Rock Slide from the Dragonite, so it's not your typical Dragonite combo. Bleak Wind goes right into that slot, and I'll Moonblast into the Dragonite because it's no longer multi-scaled. Even if it's not, it could be Inner Focus, which prevents flinching and intimidates, but I don't think it's going to be good enough. I don't think it's going to be good enough. So what you gotta do when they come for you? Two ghosts. Gonna reign supreme. I don't care if I'm locked into Bleak Wind right now. I'm doing a lot of damage. They withdrew Amoonguss, totally fine. Good call. Brought out Grimmsnarl again. They're gonna Terra. Has to be the Dragonite. What are you gonna Terra to? Rock. Okay. All right. I think wind or flying moves still hurts that slot a lot. So that's cool. Bleak Wind, 100% right into the slot. Oh, doesn't do hardly anything to Dragonites. Dope. But I'm going to drop its speed down. Here comes a ×2 Rock Slide. Does not knock out either one of my Pokemon. It gets really, really close though. Bleak Wind again. And I'm just going to Moonblast right into the Grimmsnarl slot. Good call on the choice spam though. If it was like Specs, man, that would like help out quite a bit, but it's not, so that's dope. Protect on the Dragonite, which is totally fine. No, oh, Sucker Punch does knock out the Fluttermane. I did not realize that Grimmsnarl got Sucker Punch. That's dope. All right, cool. Bleak Wind Storm does not hurt the Dragonite, but it is gonna hurt a little bit to the Grimmsnarl. Will not knock it out, but it gets really, really close. So I'm gonna bring in Iron Hands now. And I'm gonna go ahead and Bleak Wind one more time. Actually, how much do I have in the Rain? Rain has one more turn. Swap to Chien Pao, and I'm going to... Ooh, Drain Punch? Oh, I could Drain Punch? Actually, we're gonna Fake Out instead. I don't want Rock Slide bonus. No more Rock Slides for you. The Rain's gonna last one more turn. I would much rather just get this over with. So Fake Out, boom. Sucker Punch was also gonna fail, so that was gonna go to the Tornadus. That most likely would have knocked him out. And the Rain stopped. Okay. Now that we've got all of this situated, we'll go ahead and hit him really, really hard, and we'll hit you really, really hard. Sacred Sword into the Dragonite, which is going to do a lot of damage. Withdrew the Dragonite. That's cool. Are you going to bring out Amoonguss again? I think you are. Yep, there he is. Hello, Amoonguss. Sacred Sword right into that slot. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it will. And it will do damage by the Rocky Helmet. Spirit Break also. I didn't... Oh, well, yeah, never mind. I was like, wait, how did that happen? Like, well, duh. Iron Hands isn't faster than Grimmsnarl. Duh. So now we'll bring out Tornadus. My Terra goes Tornadus. Now it's down to the 2, and we'll Bleak Wind and Drain Punch and hope for the best. That's all that we could do for now. That's all that we could do. Amoonguss might do Rage Powder. It could do Spore at the end. I don't know what's going to happen, though. I'm locked into Bleak Wind, and if it doesn't hit either one, that's... I played a good game. I'm hoping for 2 things right now. 1, no Spore. Both people getting hit with Bleak Wind. There's the Rage Powder. Bleak Wind. It hits both and knocks one of them out. Oh! Okay, Amoonguss goes down. I think that was a crit. I'm not sure. I can't read any of those. Here comes the Rock Slide, which is 2 times. It's going to knock out Tornadus, I believe. Yes. Does nothing to the Iron Hands. Now let's hope for no flinching. Please don't flinch. I don't think it's going to flinch. It would be really, really hard for it to flinch. Drain Punch into that slot. It only had like 2 HP left. Punch. Boom. And for our final match, we ended at 3-2. Whew. That's awesome. That was a good match. I didn't think Dragonite could be like Terra Rock, but if you're going to spam Rock Slide, that's how you do it. All right, our first match has Armarouge, Indeedee, Sneasler, Therian Landorus, Dragonite, and Chien-Pao. Interesting. So we could possibly walk in with our own strat of Chien-Pao, Dragonite, and just try to outspeed them. I think I am set to Jolly, so my extreme speed should go off first. And it becomes a big old battle of, okay, who hits who, like more. But they do have Indeedee and Armarouge as well. So we won't be able to take advantage completely of that. But we could walk in with Dragonite, Chien-Pao nonetheless. And I think that's what we're going to do. Walk in with Dragonite, Chien-Pao, almost said done. Like we'll just walk in single Pokemon only. That would be kind of odd. We'll bring in Iron Hands. It's Indeedee. Indeedee is what's really tripping me up here. Iron Hands is still going to be able to withstand quite a bit, but it's just the Psychic Field, the Psychic Surge. That's what's kind of tripping me up here. I want to bring in Tornadus, but I'm going to be faster than everything on that side of the field, except for Chien-Pao, but Dragonite's going to be extreme speeding. So we'll bring in Fluttermane instead. I mean, why not? Fluttermane's going to be the fastest Pokemon on my team with the booster energy, so I don't really have to worry about having Tailwind. This is going to be really, really different. I'm not actually bringing in my sub Pokemon. So Landorus and Armarouge versus Dragonite and Chien-Pao. Now, Intimidate's going to lower down my attacks one stage, which is totally fine. But now I can either go into Ice Spinner or Stomping Tantrum. I'm going to go into Stomping Tantrum first, and then Ice Spinner after that. Now, they're probably thinking, oh, I'm going to extreme speed into the Landorus, and that's going to do a little bit more damage, but it is -1 the attack. But they're going to Terra. I probably baited it out, so let's see. It is going to be Armarouge, and it's going to be Grass. Psychic. Okay, so Expanding Force. It's going to do a lot of damage to Dragonite, but not to Chien-Pao. It's going to Endure. That's cool. I mean, Stomping Tantrum isn't going to do a whole lot of damage. Oh, you turn off its own Wake Armor to get the speed increase and to proc the weakness policy. Okay, so 2 in speed, 1 in special attack. No, 2 in attack and special attack. All right, all right. That was a scarfed Indeedee now comes out, second surge. That was a scarfed Landorus, by the way. Ice Spinner will now go right into Indeedee slot, which is going to take away the Psychic Surge, so now I can use priority attacks. Doesn't really matter at those. The Rocky Helm from Indeedee is going to do a lot of damage. Stomping Tantrum right into... Oh! That would have KO'd him. But that would have done it. That would have KO'd him for sure. Okay. So Stomping Tantrum on the Indeedee, and I think we're gonna Sucker Punch into the Armarouge because he's gonna attack first. He's got +4 in speed now. Follow me. Oh, there goes Sucker Punch. Okay. I wish Sucker Punch wasn't redirected that way. That's kind of dumb in my opinion, but that's okay. Heat Wave will come off of the Armarouge, which is going to knock out our Chien-Pao. Sorry, Chien-Pao. Stomping Tantrum goes right into the Indeedee. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does do the job. Okay. I think Follow Me is faster than Fake Out, but I don't think it's really going to matter at this point. I am locked into Stomping Tantrum, which isn't bad per se, but Iron Hands will come out. Swap Pokemon to bring up Fluttermane. And I'll give it a try. Because the worst that could happen is he just follows me and I just hit the entity right in the face with Fake Out. Now we'll get hit a lot with Heat Wave again, but I'm hoping that it's not the case. Withdrew entity. Okay, never mind. Bringing out Landorus again, which is going to lower my attack one more time. Endure. Totally fine. Here comes the Fake Out. It will not KO it, but it will do just as good. Now he's probably going to swap out again. That's a +6. That's a +6. Well, we're not as weak to... But he's probably going to swap out again. So I'd rather not risk it. Yeah, he's probably going to swap out Landorus again to bring out Entity. That's the case here. Or he could bring in his 4th, but you would want to bring in Entity. Yep, there he is. Psychic Surge comes out again, preventing any and all priority moves. They just won't work. So we're going to Terra our Entity. Not Entity, Fluttermane. Wow. You can tell I'm a little sloppy for not doing this for almost a week. Okay, so Expanding Force, that's gonna do a lot of damage. Oh, yeah, that's a lot of damage. They've got this. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I wasn't expecting Endure to not act like Protect. So, we're out of this match, guys. Armarouge is a little too strong with the weakness policy and the U-turn. So weak armor, guys. Weak armor. It's now seen play, which I'm very happy for. That was so weird. Endure. All right, next match has a Zapdos, Therian Landorus, Chi-Yu, Iron Bundle, Iron Hands, and Pelipper. Okay, so obvious Rain team. I don't know if it's gonna have Tailwind, but again, obviously it is a Rain team. So in this point of view, we're gonna have to worry about a couple of things. One, Tailwind on that side of the field. Second, Hurricanes and Thunders from the Zapdos, and then whatever Pelipper's going to bring in. But we also have Iron Bundle on that side of the field that is going to possibly have the booster energy. I mean, you could have it on Iron Hands, but he's more like a Fake Out usage. He could have other things, but why would you put a lot more investment into that Pokemon when you can just make it better by using Assault Vest, Citrus Berry? You can even make it have leftovers. So there's other ways that you can deal with that Pokemon. I'm gonna walk in with Tornadus, Fluttermane. We're gonna walk in with Urshifu and Qianpao. Yes. Now, Dragonite and Iron Hands would be really, really good here. However, we are quite limited in the move pool that we could use, and Landorus is going to lower down our physical attack with Intimidates, and I'm hoping that with our special attackers, we'll be able to take advantage of that. And in the event, Zapdos and Iron Hands comes out first, and in the event that something like this were to happen, like right now, I'm not fully off. So now Fake Out is only going to be directed over to Tornadus, and I'm going to go ahead and just taunt the Zapdos immediately. Well, yeah, because I'm the fastest thing on the field with Fluttermane right now, but Fluttermane's obviously going to get knocked out here soon. So I'm going to taunt the Zapdos to stop Tailwind. Terra, Fairy, Moonblast into the Iron Hands. Now, that Zapdos could be Scarfed, and if it is Scarfed, it's going to be faster than, I think, Fluttermane. by a long shot. I think Zapdos's base speed is like 120. It's not as high as like Voltorb or what is it, Regieleki. It's not as high, but it's still high. They're gonna Terra. It's gonna be the Iron Hands, and it's gonna be electric. Okay, it's kind of like what I chose. So ground is really gonna mess it up. But Garchomp isn't here. Sorry. Taunt goes right into the Zapdos, hopefully preventing Tailwind. Moonblast into that slot, which, because it's electric, isn't going to receive a lot of damage, so about half. That was also a crit, and Tailwind was stopped. Wild Charge goes right into the Tornadus. Maybe the Terra Tornadus would have been better, but you know what? I'm okay with it because the recoil on that move is super beneficial. But now I'm kind of in a hard spot. I got two electric types staring at me. One knows Heavy Slam for sure, and the other one not so much. But Ice Spinner into the Zapdos slot, and we'll finish off hopefully Iron Hands with a Moonblast. He should be in range now. It's usually a 3-hit KO, but I don't know about electric. But I am Terra Fairy. With your Iron Hands, so I'm going to go right into that slot to the new Pokemon who may or may not be hit really, really hard. Pelipper comes out, bringing on the rain, which is dope. Moonblast into that Pelipper slot, may have Focus Sash. Let's see what happens. Oh, just barely survives. Ice Spinner will now hit that Zapdos, who is affected by Taunt, and goes down in one hit, but Static will paralyze Chien-Pao. Ooh. Ooh. Now Pelipper can't attack because he was swapped in this turn, so we're looking on the up and up. It's 3-3 so far. Sent out Iron Hands again. Now he can Fake Out because I no longer have a way to stop it, but I'm going to Sucker Punch the Pelipper, and I'm going to Moonblast the Iron Hands. Fake Out goes right into the Flattermane, which is totally fine. Sucker Punch into the Pelipper, I'm going to knock him out, so now he can't attack. And Flattermane couldn't move due to flinch. Landorus is their final Pokemon, which is going to lower down Chien-Pao's attack, and it's also going to lower down Flattermane's attack. But Chien-Pao is more impacted for that, and Flattermane isn't. Ice Spinner is going to go into Landorus, and then we're going to Moonblast right into Iron Hands once again. Moonblast, and Blammo. In range to get the one-hit KO. It's not one hit. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, one hit KO. Landorus with the Rock Slide does enough damage to knock out the Flattermane, and Chien-Pao barely hangs on. I'm surprised that he moves faster than Chien-Pao. That means that guy is scarfed. But an Ice Spinner right into that slot knocks him out. One hit KO. Let's go. 1-1 so far, folks. Let's get it. All right. Our third match has a Lilligant, Iron Hands, Cresselia, Torkoal, Landorus, and Flattermane. So a Sun Trick Room variant that could easily sway our team. However, if we play this right, we can 1, stop Trick Room, and 2, take advantage of the Sun as if it was our own. So Lilligant is going to be a Pokemon of contention this round, so we're going to have to do our best to stop it. We're going to go ahead and go with Tornadus and Flattermane for the possible Trick Room advantage that they might be bringing. Urshifu to deal with Landorus and Torkoal, and it will obviously knock out the Fluttermane. There's not a whole lot that Fluttermane will live through nowadays, unless you put all investments in defenses, and then it's like with Chien-Pao on the field, it's kind of like minute at that point, but there's that. We could bring in Dragonite this time for Iron Hands counter, but other than that, it's like not really doing a whole lot. Iron Hands wouldn't be good to bring in here because Cresselia can know Psychic as well as Moonblast. But I think Dragonite's going to be the best in this situation. I would bring in Chien-Pao, but I don't have an answer to Cresselia currently. Like, I really should try to invest into like a strong dark type that I could use. The fact that I don't is a problem. Maybe I start using other moves with Chien-Pao. Anyway, they open up with Torkoal and Fluttermane, and I open up with Tornadus and Fluttermane as well. Now, Drought is going to activate photosynthesis, so that's cool. Speed was heightened on their end and on my end as well. So, in this particular situation, we need to turn off the sun. We're going to do that by obviously using Rain Dance, and I'm going to Terra Fairy. I want to Imprison, but they're most likely going to use Dazzling Gleam. Shadow Ball. Terra Fairy. Oops, not Trick Room. Terra Fairy, Moonblast. And I'm going to hit the Fluttermane. Why not? They're going to Terra. Is it the Torkoal? Please let it be Torkoal. It's not. It's Fluttermane. He becomes Fairy. Man, I was really hoping it was Torkoal. Maybe I should run a Sun team next season. I love Sun teams. They're really, really fun. And I'm going to bring it to Fluttermane, my own Terra with the Fairy. So there we go. Now, this is going to be the cool thing. Rain Dance activates, which is going to turn off the sun and take off photosynthesis on their side. But guess what happens? Booster energy comes in on my side and turns it right back on. So I'm now the fastest Pokemon on the field. And Moonblast into that slot. Boom. Almost knocking it out. One hit KO. Dazzling Gleam comes out on their side, which is something that I totally thought that they would have. Ooh, Tornadus barely lives with the 8 HP, but it's not going to matter as Fluttermane and Tornadus are taken down by Torkoal's Eruption. But you know what? I'm okay with this outcome because now I get to bring out Dragonite and Urshifu. And Dragonite is going to extreme speed right into that Fluttermane, and it's going to knock it out. And Urshifu is faster than Torkoal. And that's going to knock out Torkoal right away. And I'm just going to go ahead and just click this button and click that button. And then we'll just go from here. This should be well into range unless they swap out both. Torkoal gets swapped out. Cresselia? No, Landorus. Ooh. This might help the Fluttermane live. The Intimidate's going to drop our attack 1 stage. But that Landorus is not going to like this. Oh, it does not save the Fluttermane. Fluttermane goes down. Surging Strix now goes into Landorus and will now KO. But he has the Rocky Helmet, so it's going to do a little bit of damage to Urshifu on his way out. Whew. Landorus goes down. Torkoal comes out. It's going to reset the weather. And Iron Hands comes out. Okay. Urshifu or Iron Hands, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna fake out the Dragonite? Or are you gonna stop Iron Hand or stop Dragonite? Are you gonna hit the Urshifu to prevent Surgeon Strikes from knocking out Torkoal? Or are you gonna hit the Dragonite and stop it from doing initial damage? No, neither one. Extreme Speed goes right inside Torkoal's slot. Surgeon Strikes right after that, which is gonna lower it past half. It's not gonna do as much damage because it is in the sun, which is going to lower down water attacks, but now Eruption will literally do nothing. But Wild Charge is gonna go right into the Urshifu slot, which is gonna knock him out, unfortunately. Eruption does 9 damage to Dragonite. And Extreme Speed into the Torkoal slot is going to knock him out now. And there can be no fake outs. But he read me pretty well. Torkoal's going to protect. Wild Charge. Ooh, right into the Dragonite slot. It's going to do quite a bit of damage. Now I'm going to Extreme Speed the Iron Hands because Torkoal with its Eruption will not do as much damage. Wild Charge. Boop. Oh, Dragonite goes down. Good call on the Torkoal swap in at the very end. 1 and 2. Let's go. Fourth match has Urshifu, Tornadus, Golden Go, Hisuian Arcanine, Rillaboom, and Iron Hands. Let's see. How should we deal with this team here? So we got Intimidator with Hisuian Arcanine, which has a 1.5 with Rock Slides, which is usually what it carries. We got 2 fake out users or possible fake out users with Rillaboom and Iron Hands. Now Rillaboom is still a good Pokemon outside the fact because he has Grassy Surge, which heals over time, and he has Wood Hammer, which does a lot of damage with his typing, so it's really good. I don't know what Urshifu it is. I want to say Single Strike. We won't know until he comes out. Golden Go though, that's the person I gotta watch out for. I don't really have anything to do with him, so let's see how we will do this. We'll bring in Tornadus, Chien-Pao to start off, Dragonite to deal with Iron Hands and Golden Go, and Fluttermane for everything else. Now I should bring in Urshifu, but I'm not because the minus attack that Hisuian Arcanine could bring in, that could be brought in, is going to make a difference here. Okay, so Iron Hands and Golden Go to start off the match. And what should I do here? I mean, fake out is a possible thing. I can't stop anyone here. So I think I'm going to set up for the following turn. Well, I need a Terra so that Wild Charge doesn't insta-kill Tornadus. That's something that I want to try to avoid right away. And I'm going to Sucker Punch the Golden Go, thinking that it's going to attack. It could, but unless it changes its typing here, it might get one hit KO'd right now. But again, Iron Hands is out there. Most likely will have Fake Out, or it could be, you know, Assault Vest, or it could be a Pokemon that has like Sword Dance. I don't know. Sword Dancing on that Pokemon is dangerous, by the way. Like, I want to run a set with Belly Drum just to completely take over the whole Sword Dance thing. Fake Out will go to the Chien-Pao, which is totally fine. Rain Dance. So now I have 100% Bleak Winds, but now Wild Charge doesn't knock me out right away. And here comes Make It Rain, which is going to knock out the Chien-Pao, but it's going to let Tornadus survive. Thankfully, I think it's because of his Terra. It may not be the case, but I'm just gonna chop it up to that and be like, I hope. Dragonite will now come out. Tornadus is now gonna go ahead and do Tailwind so I can Stamping Destruction onto Golden Go, who has a -1 in special attack right now. Golden Go will now Terra to Fairy, so now it's not affected by my ground attacks as much. It still gets hit for quite a bit, but it's not as effective. Tailwind, so that I double in speed. Because Dragonite isn't the fastest Pokemon, even though that he's set, I believe, to Adamant. Still a little bit of a danger. Tornadus is going to go down with Make It Rain. But I will drop that Golden Go to less than half. Iron Hands will now Wild Charge, which is going to do a lot of damage in the rain. It's hit by Recoil. Now here comes Flutter Mane. Which it's going to be super fast. Speed was heightened. So we'll Moonblast the Golden Go. That should knock it out. And not extreme speed. Stomping Tantrum. I kind of want to hit Iron Hands here. He's probably not going to get knocked out. Actually, I'm going to swap that. Moonblast into the Iron Hands, and I'm going to Stomping Tantrum the Golden Go. The Golden Go needs to go down first. Obviously, he's faster. Iron Hands does get swapped out, so that's cool. Here comes the Rillaboom. Oh, I was kidding. But Intimidate's going to lower down Dragonite's offense one stage, which will probably let Golden Go live. But the Moonblast is going to do 1/4 of the damage instead of half, if not more. Yep, Stomping Tantrum does not do enough damage to knock it out, but there goes Dragonite. Flutter Mane is left all by itself. Four versus 1. And that's the game, folks. Now, if I had like a spread move there, that might have evened things out a little bit, but I don't. I neglected to not take it. I thought straight in attacks would be better, and it's not. All right, our final match of the day has got Grimmsnarl, his Galarian Moltres. This is going to be dope. Urshifu, Golden Go, Landorus, and Amoonguss. I am super stoked and excited to see what Galarian Moltres is going to do, actually. I love that Pokemon. He's so cool looking. His shiny form just makes him look like just regular Moltres, and it trips people up all the time. Because the animations, like the physical animations, are different, but people just go by color, so they don't really look, and it's so funny. Okay, so I think the best option is to walk in with Iron Hands Flutter Mane, which is a really weird combination, but we do that so that we could possibly have an open for Grimmsnarl and Moltres, bring in Chien-Pao and Dragonite in the back. They don't have anyone that is Tailwind appropriate. They have Grimmsnarl, which is going to lower damage instead of increases damage, or its speed. So instead of trying to beat the speed battle, because I'm pretty fast, I think I'm faster than everything on that side of the field. Instead of trying to beat it with a speed battle, which they open up with Grimmsnarl and Moltres, I am just going to try to beat them up regardless. All right, so this is going to be a very interesting matchup here. We're going to go ahead and fake out Grimmsnarl so it doesn't get anything up. Terra, Fairy, Moonblast into the Moltres slot. Fiery Wrath is so powerful, especially if you get Berserk off. So if I don't knock it out, that Fiery Wrath with the +1 is going to be really, really hurtful. They're also going to Terra, and it's Moltres. Let's go. And it's poison. All right. Fake out right into Grimmsnarl. You can't do anything this turn. Thank you, buddy. Nice try. Moonblast right into the Galarian Moltres, which is definitely not going to knock it out now. It does not proc Berserk though, but I will lower its special attack one stage. Nasty Plot will now kick in. Okay. So now we can Heavy Slam right into the Grimmsnarl slot. And you know what? I'm just going to go straight into... I'm going to double into that slot. I'm going to double into that slot so I can knock it out right now. Because here comes Reflect, which is going to lower down physical moves. Moonblast. Right into... Oh, not... Boosh. Knocks it out. Should have done Light Screen first. But now... Ooh, Tailwind on that side of the field. Interesting. Heavy Slam will now kick in. It does a little bit of damage, but not too much. Okay, they're going to send out Landorus. Interesting. So Drain Punch isn't going to do anything on that side of the field. I can do Heavy Slam again, or I could do Thunder Punch, which is actually his typing here. It does very little to Thunder, so Thunder Punch anyway. I could do Heavy Slam and do a lot. I could swap too. That's also something I could do. I could swap to bring out maybe Dragonite. It would be really, really helpful here. But I think I'm going to wait until they make a move first. So Heavy Slam into that slot, and I'm going to Shadow Ball Moonblast into Landorus as well. I'm going to knock him out as fast as much as possible. Ooh! Ooh! Super effective in Iron Dance. He survives Berserk. It's procced off by the +1 attack. And a Berry will now kick off. It looks like it was Citrus Berry on the... Sorry, it was a move. That was such a move. Air Slash will come in and knock out the Flutter Mane. That Earthquake did a lot of damage to everyone. I don't know if they accounted that Earthquake would do that, or they're just trying to get like the proc off of, you know, the berry. I don't know, but Landorus is gonna down, and my Flutter Mane follows before it. Not follows. Well, my Flutter Mane's gonna fall, and then yeah. So now Dragonite's gonna come in. They're gonna send out their final Pokemon, which is Golden Go. Okay. Heavy Slam into... Yeah, I'm gonna Thunder Punch, and then I want a Stomping Tantrum. I really do. But I think Extreme Speed's gonna be like the best benefit here. But he's got Tailwind. How long does he have Tailwind? 2 more turns. So Stomping, I'm not gonna take any risks. I'm just gonna go right into the Stomping Tantrum. Battle was canceled. Never mind. We went 2 and 3. They were down to the last 2 Pokemon. I mean, Moltres was injured, but it wasn't enough to where it wasn't winnable. They had Tailwind. They could have like turned it around. We ended exactly on 7,000, which is really, really funny. But we ended at 32 and 28. We're only 4 above our loss record, which is totally fine. Let's see, 32 and 28. And we will extend this out. There we go. So not just a little bit further so it doesn't do that again. So our 53% win rate out of our 60 games so far, which isn't that bad. That last match though, I feel like they would have turned the battle around if they would have done something a little bit different. Air Slash is a good pick for Moltres, but I saw that they had Nasty Plot, Tailwind, and Air Slash. I don't know what the 4th move would have been. Maybe Protect. Fiery Wrath is something that you could have used, but you were twice as fast as I was, and I can't click into Extreme Speed with Golden Go on that side. Now, Terra Poison is also something that's really, really good. I obviously didn't have an answer for ground types because you can't clearly see that on the team preview, but Stomping Tantrum does help out with not needing one. But I find it very, very interesting that you can do that all the time with like tricking out your opponents. I also like the fact that you can bring in like Landorus or like Grimmsnarl to kind of do a little bit more. I think the parting way, or like the parting of the battles, I guess, what made it seem so winnable to me is that I took out Grimmsnarl before it was able to do anything really. It lowered down physical damage that I could have done, but you couldn't get light screen up. You couldn't like fake out or parting or even Spirit Breaker. You couldn't really do anything with Grimmsnarl. Then when I took Landorus out, I think that was kind of like the setting in the stone. But again, their last open with Golden Go and Moltres was still winnable in my eyes. Like they could have done quite a bit. My Iron Hands was less than half health. My Dragonite just came out after Fluttermane got knocked out during that turn. I think their biggest upset was when Landorus decided to do Earthquake instead of doing just Stomping Tantrum, because there was no way I was going to take care of that Moltres unless Dragonite comes out, and I wasn't going to sacrifice Dragonite to do a little bit more damage. There was no way. I was just going to let a free switch in happen, like with the Fluttermane getting knocked out. So I don't really have an MVP because it's like the first time I'm coming back after a week. I think all the Pokemon did fairly well here. If anything, I probably would say like Tornadus needs like a little bit more change up just because it's not able to survive some attacks, but it's able to live others. But with Iron Hands, Rillaboom, and Fluttermane being so prevalent in the meta right now, I think if I build a team, I would probably have to try to make it so that they last longer if they directly correlate or get knocked out by him, regardless of what their stats are. So maybe that could be something that we do in the future. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of how the matches went today. Did I fix any of your your addictions? I know I've been missing battles like this for a while. I don't battle on the cartridge off screen. I would much rather have it all recorded so you guys can see the progress from start to finish. But I will say this. In the next season, if I get in the Master Ball tier within the first like 10 videos or so, we're gonna start making like some obvious changes and like doing something different with the teams, because the whole point of the series is to go from Great Ball all the way up using a team and then changing stuff there. And it seemed like this team was just built to just take wins, and it was just so close. Like it wasn't so like, what am I trying to say here? It looked like the team was great enough. It's great enough to compete in a regional. It's probably good enough to get day 2. I don't know if it's going to go further, but it's enough that it caused Master Ball tier to happen so quickly. So I like that. But in season 10, if that happens again, we'll have another discussion of what we should do with the team, because I do want to play around with it and just kind of see what we can create. Maybe change some EVs around, and not really mess with the IVs. There's no way to do that besides hyper training, and it just maxes them out anyway, so we can't really do anything. But EVs especially, we can change around that quite a bit. But that's the end of the video. I want to thank you guys for watching as far as you have. Leave a comment down below if you guys would like to chat about today's video, the battles, the teams, whatever you guys have in mind. I do reply to any and all comments down below. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, subscribe if you're new. We have a monthly goal to try to hit 400 by the end of the month and 1,000 by the end of the year. And from our previous growth spurts, I believe that we can hit it, and I know that we can with your guys' help. So that's it for me. Happy Friday. I will be posting pretty much the rest of the weekend. I can't make up 4 days. There's just no physical possibility of me doing that, but I can at least still post tomorrow, which is Saturday, and I will post again on Sunday. That way you guys have more content to watch, and I'll continue posting through the following week. Now, I do originally post 6 days a week, and if you guys want to help even more, turn on the notification. But I do post Monday through Saturday of Pokemon battles that I fight online. So, I know that was a lot. I apologize. I really do apologize. It's been a while since I've done this. I'm losing my voice already. You can already tell, I think. But thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday again, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Till then, have a good one. Peace.